Well, hello, and thank you for joining me. My name is Mrs. Annie, and today we are going to read Builder Brothers Big Plans by Jonathan and Drew Scott, illustrated by Kim Smith. And I hope you enjoy it. So let's get started. All right, Builder Brothers Big Plans. One sweet summer afternoon, Drew and Jonathan were doing what they did best: dream big. Let's build a tree house, said Drew. No, a castle, said Jonathan, with a firefighter's pole and a catapult. So look at the plans that they're drawing in the dirt. The twins were always making big plans, but for some reason, grown-ups only ever laugh. I wonder why. That sounds like quite a creative castle that you boys are going to build, Uncle Joe chuckled. Hmm, said Aunt Kathy. Sounds like your imagination might be a little too wild. Sounds like they had no confidence in Jonathan and his brother. What do you boys and girls think? You think they can do it? Well, let's see. The twins shuffled off to their official planning table, aka the dining table. They never think we can actually build these things, said Jonathan. Just because we're little, said Drew. Oh, I think they're going to show 'em. But little people can do big things. The brothers traded a grin. We'll show them. But how? Feels like the perfect idea is right in front of our noses, said Jonathan. Yup, said Drew. And that's when they notice. What do you think they noticed? Gracie and Stewie. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Asked Drew. Even before you think it, said Jonathan. Let's build a double-decker doghouse, cried the brothers. Aren't these illustrations just marvelous? I love them. In a flash, the boys grabbed paper and pencils and started working. They sketched and scribbled, doodled and designed, colored and created. And when they were done, they stepped back to look at the result and said together, "This will be the most awesomest double-decker doghouse ever." They pooled all their savings. It's always good to have a nice savings. You just never know what you need to use it for. And they plunked down their plans, their shopping list, and all their money on the counter. "We want to build the most awesomest double-decker doghouse ever," said Drew. The store worker pored over their plans. She read their list up and down. "You boys sure this is all you want?" she asked. "It seems kind of small." "Sure, we're sure," said Drew. "Nobody thinks we can," said Jonathan. "But little people can do big things." And Mrs. Annie agreed. The brothers were so excited that they raced each other all the way home. Drew and Jonathan hurried into their garage. For the next few hours, all you could hear was vumpa, 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 bam, 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 scritch it, scritch it, scritch it. They were hard at work. At last, the brothers stepped back to admire their work. The double-decker doghouse was awesome, all right, but it was also way too small. Oh boy. I wonder what they're going to do about that. "Oops," said Drew. "Uh-oh," said Jonathan. "I think we must have measured wrong." "What now?" said Drew. "So, boys and girls, what do you think they can do about this situation?" The brothers flopped down on the floor. Were the grown-ups right after all? Their money was gone, their work was done, and the twins had nothing to show for it. How could Drew and Jonathan turn their teeny tiny doghouse into something worthy of all that work? The brothers looked up. Then their eyes met. "Are you thinking what I'm thinking?" asked Jonathan. "Even before you think it," said Drew. And with a bit more tinkering, toying, and tuning up, the brothers turned their tiny doghouse into a super duper deluxe birdhouse. I knew those twins would come up with something. Look at that birdhouse. And I see some happy birds. That night, as they crawled into their beds, Jonathan said, I bet those birds are dreaming their own big dreams in their new house right now. Drew asked, well, where will Gracie and Stewie sleep? At first, Jonathan wondered. But then he realized the dogs didn't need a house. They were already right where they belonged. So how about you, boys and girls? Do you have your own pets that sleep with you too? Or do they have their own home? As they slipped off to sleep, the brothers smiled because they knew what every builder knows. Every big plan starts with a dream. So take a look, boys and girls. You can build your own birdhouse too, with just a little help from a grown-up. And something important, do not do this activity without adult supervision. So here's some things you might need. 1 empty half-gallon milk or juice cardboard carton cleaned and dried. Construction paper in various colors. Scissors. Rubber cement. Markers and or crayons. Craft knife, a long twig, and some string. Now, here are the instructions. First, you want to cover each side of the carton with construction paper. Get a grown-up to help you measure and cut the paper. Then second, glue each panel onto the carton. Decorate the paper with images from magazines or drawings. And then third, with a grown-up's help, use a craft knife to cut a 2-inch by 2-inch square on one side of the carton, about 2 inches from the bottom. And then fourth, poke 2 holes in the carton, 1 an inch below the open square and 1 on the opposite side. Stick the twig through these holes so your birds can perch on it. And then fifth and final, poke a hole in the top of the carton. Then tie a loop of string through the hole so you can hang the birdhouse up. Now here's a little extra fun for you. Use spray primer instead of construction paper to cut the carton. Then you'll have a blank surface to color. Spray the primer, let it dry, and then decorate it however you like. Spray it with safe, clear sealant to make it weather resistant. Just make sure you have an adult's supervision throughout the process. So I would love to see how your birdhouses turn out. So take pictures or send Mrs. Annie a video and let me know how your birdhouse turned out. Okay? Well, thank you for listening and watching Mrs. Annie read Builder Brothers Big Plans by Jonathan and Drew Scott. And those wonderful illustrations were by Kim Smith. Thank you for watching and stay tuned and come back next time. Bye bye.